Hi, I'm Garrett, Savina's husband, and welcome to the Juicy and Strong Beauty and Immunity Bootcamp. Now, for those of you who've been following this bootcamp for a while, you will undoubtedly recognize this chair that I'm sitting in. I asked my queen if I could borrow her throne for a couple of minutes and share an important immunity tip with you, and she very kindly said yes. So, my immunity tip has to do with balancing the sympathetic and parasympathetic systems in your body. And it comes from a book that I'm currently working on balancing not only your body, but your entire life. Now, my background is in the PR business. In fact, I've been in PR for the past 25 years, specifically in the publishing industry. And I have sold and helped sell literally billions of dollars worth of books. And many of those books fell into the health, healing, and wellness categories. And I've had a parallel interest in those categories for at least the last 25 years. In fact, that's how Savina and I originally connected. So, those of you who are familiar with Taoism know that in Taoist medicine and in Taoism in general, there are always two forces at play, Yin and Yang. Yin is feminine and Yang is masculine. Yin is correlated with nighttime sleep and rejuvenation, and Yang is correlated with daytime being awake and getting things done. Now, your body has two systems that correspond with these two daily cycles. And you've heard Savina and Montauk talk about both of them already. Your sympathetic system is your daytime masculine system, and your parasympathetic system is your nighttime feminine yin system. So what happens is in the evening, and particularly when you go to sleep, your body shifts into your parasympathetic system, and it goes into a state of rest, rejuvenation, and detoxification. And what it does is it basically rounds up all the toxins that have accumulated in your body during the day and it flushes them out. In other words, it takes out the trash. And when it's in this state, it is relaxed and it is open because that's how it needs to be in order to let the trash out. And in the morning, your body then shifts into your sympathetic system and it closes down and contracts and it closes its doors. And it does that because it's headed out into the world and it needs to protect itself from all kinds of things, including bugs and viruses. And when it's in this state, it is obviously contracted and closed because that's how it needs to be to keep the trash from getting in. So let's recap. When your body is running your parasympathetic system in the evening and at night, it is open and relaxed in order to let the trash out. And when it's running your sympathetic system during the day, it is closed and contracted in order to keep the trash from getting in. And if you want to have a really powerful immune system, you must do both of these things every day and every night. If you don't spend enough time in your parasympathetic system at night, flushing the trash out of your body, you will eventually die from too much garbage building up on the inside of your body. And if you don't shift into your sympathetic system in the morning when you wake up and close your doors, you will eventually die from too much garbage getting into your body from the outside. This interplay between these two systems in your body, the parasympathetic and sympathetic, is literally the foundation of your immune system. Getting the trash out and keeping the trash from getting in is the fundamental building blocks and foundation of your immune system. There's nothing more important. So what I want to talk about now is how to stimulate and support these two fundamental building blocks of your immune system. And we're going to start with your parasympathetic system, your yin, feminine, nighttime one. Now there's many things that will support this system in your body. Okay, but we're going to talk about 4 of them that I have found to be particularly powerful and particularly helpful. And the first one we're going to talk about is heat. Now, everybody knows that heat causes your body to relax and open, okay? So what you want to try to do is in your evening routine, you want to incorporate heat into it as much as you can, because this will help shift your body into your parasympathetic system. Okay, so this can be hot drinks, this can be hot food, this can be hot teas, soups, whatever. And then things like hot baths and hot showers and hot saunas, hot water bottles, heating pads with you in bed. All these things are going to help shift you into your parasympathetic system. One of the things that a lot of people don't realize and aren't familiar with is that when you get in bed at night, your body can't actually fall asleep until your body temperature, the temperature of your extremities, is balanced with your core body temperature. So it's important to make sure that your hands and your feet are warm when you get into bed, because otherwise you're not going to be able to fall asleep until that equalizes. Now, you don't want to get too carried away with this heat thing. The idea is just to warm up your body. If you get yourself into an environment where it's too hot, you actually won't sleep well. So you want to have your body warm, but the outside temperature a little bit cooler. So that's the idea. All right, so the second thing we're going to talk about is red and infrared light. Now, these also help shift your body into your parasympathetic system in the evening. And if you look at Mother Nature, she already kind of has this pre-wired into the system. The predominant color in the spectrum in the mornings when you wake up is blue, okay? And it has tight frequencies. The wavelengths of blue light are really tight. But in the evening, when the sun goes down at sunset, the predominant color in the spectrum is red and infrared. And these wavelengths are really long and stretched out and relaxed. And they have the same impact on your body. They relax you and they stretch you out. So this is one of the reasons why infrared saunas are so powerful and popular these days, is because infrared saunas put your body into a deep state of relaxation and they open it up so it's very easy for it to detoxify. And of course, they also put your body into your parasympathetic system. And one of the things that I do, this kind of balance between blue light and red light, one of the things that I do to try to capitalize on that is I wear blue blockers in the evenings. I'll show you. I have a pair of them right here. This is what they look like. And I will put these on about an hour, sometimes a half an hour before I go to bed. And what you want to try to do is limit your exposure to blue light in the evenings before you go to bed. And in our modern world, a lot of us fall into the habit of exposing ourselves to screens in the evenings, whether it's our phones or our computers or whatever screen we may be looking at. There's a lot of blue light in those things. They wake you up. They put you in your sympathetic system, not your parasympathetic system. So if you get some blue blockers and you wear these in the evening when you're starting to get ready to go to bed, they will help shift you into your parasympathetic system so that when you get into bed, it makes it very easy for you to go to sleep. When I first actually got these and started wearing these, it would when I would go to bed beforehand, it would take me about a half an hour to fall asleep. But when I started wearing these about an hour or a half hour before I went to bed, I literally got in bed and was falling asleep in 5 minutes. So I literally was saving myself a half hour a day. So that is the power of putting yourself in more infrared and red light. And in an ideal scenario, if you can get yourself an infrared sauna, Savina and I have one, and get yourself, say, have an infrared sauna and then like a hot bath and a hot shower, and then go directly into bed after that, and wear these. In the shower, I will wear these, and no, not in the shower, but I'll wear these in the bathroom. And then when I get in the shower, I'll light some candles and I'll take a shower by candlelight. That's going to help you shift into that system. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about that activates your parasympathetic system is darkness. Okay, so when you actually get into bed and go to sleep, you want to be sleeping in complete darkness if at all possible. So in your ideal world, you want to eliminate anything that's got any kind of light in your bedroom. So you want to have dark out curtains. It's kind of hard, I know, if you have like alarm clocks, and some people, have their phones and use those as their alarms. But if you can, you want to try to eliminate those things. If you can't, another thing you can do is get yourself a sleep mask. I have one of these. I travel with one of these. And this can basically, even if there are lights in your environment, you can just sleep with this on, and that will put you in a state of complete darkness. Darkness is one of the most powerful activators of your parasympathetic system. All right, so the last thing that is going to help you stimulate, get you into your parasympathetic system that I want to talk about is a supplement. And it's one of the most plentiful minerals in your body. I'm sure you're familiar with it and have heard of it. It's called magnesium. And this is just one example of a magnesium that I take in the evening. This used to be called Natural Calm. It's now called Natural Vitality Calm. But basically what magnesium does is magnesium causes your body to relax. Another form of magnesium that people are familiar with is called Epsom salts. So one of the things you can do, you can have your infrared sauna, you can take an Epsom salt bath, and you have like a double benefit of a hot bath and magnesium Epsom salts in there, and that will really put your body into a deep relaxed state. And then you can head towards bed from there. You're going to sleep really soundly, and you're going to really detoxify your body. All right, so those are the 4 things that I want to share with you that are really helpful at stimulating and supporting your parasympathetic system. And so now I want to shift, and I want to talk about how to stimulate and support your sympathetic system, your daytime masculine yang system. And the things that we'll talk about that do that are basically the opposite of the ones that stimulated your parasympathetic system. So we'll start with cold, okay? So heat stimulates your parasympathetic system, cold stimulates your sympathetic system. So in the morning, when you wake up, if you can expose your body to cold in some form that is not too extreme for you, that is going to help get you into your sympathetic system. Okay? Now, some people really go deeply into this and are deeply into cold exposure. It's really popular these days. They take cold showers, they take ice baths, and you can go this far into it. But it's important to find your own balance and find what works for you. And you will find that this is somewhat different for both men and women. So, men tend toward a more yang energy. They can handle more cold in general than women can. So find what works for you, but your morning energetic, your sympathetic system is stimulated by cold. So at the very least, maybe just try to splash some cold water on your face. That will help you get into this system. And if you're really deeply into it, yes, you can get into doing cold showers and ice baths and so on and so forth. These things will cause you to contract, cause you to close. They will protect things from getting in from the outside and stimulate your sympathetic system. Okay, so the second thing I want to talk about is blue light. Okay, and we've already talked about red light, so now we know blue light. The frequencies, like I said earlier, the wavelengths of blue light are really tight and close together, and these cause you to wake up, and they cause your body to contract and tighten and close and sharpen. And so Mother Nature, again, first thing in the morning, she's got tons of blue light in the spectrum. It is the predominant color. And for you, this is the time you want to expose yourself to your screens with all the blue light. That's going to help wake you up, your phones, your computers, or whatever. This is the time of day to be doing that, as opposed to late in the evening before you go to bed. Okay? So the third thing, which is kind of a dovetail in with that, is light itself. So darkness stimulated your parasympathetic system. Light is going to stimulate your sympathetic system. So when you get up in the morning, open your windows. Get as much light into your world as possible. If it's sunny, go outside. Keep your windows clean. Anything that's going to bring more light into your world early in the morning is going to help shift you into your sympathetic system. Okay? And then the last thing we're going to talk about, we talked about a supplement for your parasympathetic system of magnesium. So this is going to be kind of the equivalent of that for your sympathetic system. And what it is it is things that are acidic. Okay? Now, there's a lot of people out there that will tell you that, oh, you need to be alkaline or you're gonna die. Those people are a little bit out of touch with balance, okay? Your body exists in a state of balance, and it balances back and forth between acid and alkaline, okay? And the same goes for this daily parasympathetic sympathetic system. So things that are acid, things that are acidic, shift you into your sympathetic system. Okay, and so this is going to help you in the mornings. And I'm just going to give you a couple of quick examples. So one of the things that you're probably all familiar with is vitamin C, ascorbic acid. It's acidic, okay? We all know that vitamin C is good for us. Okay, it is particularly good for you in the morning because it is acidic and it helps you wake up and shift into your sympathetic system. So I take several grams of vitamin C every morning. You can see there, ascorbic acid, vitamin C. Another thing that's acidic, which is not bad for a morning routine, is sparkling water. Sparkling water is acidic, so Pellegrino happens to be my preference. It's high in sulfur, which is something that I like. And then there's the most common acidic morning beverage that most people are familiar with. Plug for our friend Dave Asprey, coffee. Coffee is acidic. So, and this is the reason why coffee has been such a popular morning beverage for so long, because it helps shift you into your sympathetic system. It closes your doors and helps you get going with your day. And all these things are going to stimulate and help your immune system. And in your sympathetic system during the day, it's going to help you protect yourself from things getting in, which is what you're trying to do. So, that's a wrap for the four things, four for the parasympathetic, four for the sympathetic that I wanted to share with you to help stimulate your immune system and build the most powerful one that you can have. And I want to end with a little caveat and a caution. Okay, so I kind of touched on this a little earlier. But this whole balance between this parasympathetic and sympathetic system is going to be a little bit different for men and women. It's also going to be a little bit different for everybody because each person is individual, okay? So we need to remember that yang is masculine, and that's the sympathetic system, and yin is feminine. It's a parasympathetic system. So if you are a woman and you are yin, you want to try not to get too carried away with the yang side of this. If you get too cold or too acidic, it's going to be too much of a shock to your system in many cases. So just find what's comfortable for you. And the other thing is, as Savina teaches, you have 5 different parts of your monthly cycle. And there are parts of that cycle where you're in a very yin energetic space. And when you're in those parts of your cycle, you don't want to go getting too carried away with stimulating the yang side of things. Now, granted, when you're in those parts of your cycle, the morning is the better time to be looking at your phones and, having coffee, but that's, it's just all about finding your own spot. This is a big, your parasympathetic sympathetic system is kind of a big overarching background. But what's happening in your monthly cycle takes precedence over that, okay? So wherever you are, just tune into what's happening for you and remember to always keep that in balance. So that is my tip for you. I hope you found it helpful, and I will see you in the next one of these videos that I do. Be well and take care.